Hi, lovely people. Welcome to CBJ Studio Diaries. My name is C. I'm a self-taught jewelry maker. Here in this channel, you're going to see a lot of jewelry tutorials from the tips and tricks to a step-by-step tutorial. Today, I'm gonna be making an experiment that I've never done before. So I have this template. These shapes are very funny and I'm thinking about making jewelry out of these shapes. I have a little bit of idea of what I'm going to do, but I will not tell. So without further ado, let's get started.
I'm contemplating between the half circle and the kite. I had these two in mind before this video is made though. And the kite is the winner. Let's take the template off using this cardboard cutter. Another idea that came through is to cut the shape and transfer it into a sheet metal. There are several thickness options that I had in mind. I chose 0.3mm silver sheet for this project. Right now, my goal is to cut the silver sheet. First, I'm scoring the sheet using a pointy edge of the divider and then cut using the metal shears. In order to produce a clean leftover sheets, I also managed to cut the triangles that are sharing lines with the sides of the kites. I'm going to save these for later projects.
Yay!
The kites are successfully cut. In order to avoid the future cleanup, I try to smoothen the edges as much as possible. The process includes straightening using the parallel pliers. In order to avoid the future cleanup, I try to smoothen the edges as much as possible. The process includes straightening the sheet, filing off the pointy edges, and eventually sanding using the sandpaper. Let the adventure begin! This dipping block is super yummy. I had only been using this a couple of times. I'm taking it out, but not sure if I will be using this. I'm grabbing my go-to tool, the ring pliers, and automatically forge the sheet into a circle. Maybe I'll make another pair of earrings? Perhaps a ring? I truly don't know, but I'm not confused. This is the stage of creativity process that is truly my favorite. This is a place where I wish I could linger forever. Is that fun moment when the piece is halfway complete? Yet, feeling faint glimmer of inspiration guiding me. The sheet finally is too large to fit into the block. I was thinking of shaping the kite into more of three-dimensional shape, and curve is probably the best form for it. Since the ball is too small, it followed the sheet over, and I don't like the crease at all. I straightened the sheet and I had an idea to cut this into two. So I'm using the sheer metal. This is how it looked like. Now that the sheet is half the size of the previous one, it fit into the dipping block. At the beginning, I was using a wooden mallet, but not after I changed into a brass mallet that the curving process progressed faster. It started to look like how I want it to be. This curve is very pretty, and what I do right now is I inverse the hammering by mounting the dipping punch on the bench vise and hammer the curved silver sheet using the Fred's Goldsmith hammer. In this process, I periodically adjusted the piece to ensure it did not turn out uneven, especially the edges. Although the curve has not been shaped yet, the hammering will help to form it, at the same time giving the texture. I want to ensure that the half curve shape is created gradually and beautifully. Just listen to this soothing hammering sound. The curved silver sheet is done. They are very beautiful. At this time, I'm very sure of what I want to do actually already. And maybe you have guessed what I would like to do. These pointy edges are very dangerous, so let's cut these off. After the 4 pointy edges are cut off and filed off, I wanted to give the illusion that the earring is bulkier. Here I am rounding this using the smaller daping punch. This is to create an overall curved appearance. I wanted to revisit the shape later. In the meantime, decided on the easier thing first is to solder in the stud. Here I'm cutting 20 gauge wire. It's 1 centimeter each. File flat the edges and mark it with the Sharpie. I'm preparing soldering block for basically soldering the ear stud to the hoops. You know how to solder, hopefully. So I'm going to let you watch the process. If you don't, I recommend you to tune into one of CBJ Studio Diaries video titling Repurposing Jewelry to create earrings from old ring. I will give you the link here on the screen. Prepping for the soldering is the hardest part for me because I have to put the components together with the help of the third hands and definitely gravity. Here, for example, one of my cross-lock tweezers didn't do its job, so maybe it needs a good cleaned up. And for this, I always have a jar of vinegar. Just soak it in until the borax and all the gross gunk stripped off. Now that these two domes have been transformed into a pair of chunky hoops, there are still a lot of things to do for finishing. For example, here I'm straightening the stud to make sure that the shapes are identical. And I also try these on. What do you think? You know that they're not done yet, right? I just want to see how it look like. Flash forward, I filed off the edges without touching the hammered surface. I also polished and washed these in the ultrasonic bath machine. And voila voila! This will be listed on the Etsy shop. If you are interested to purchase, the link will be available under the video description.
Okay, so do you like the experiment? This is very special because not only I am sharing you my knowledge, but I also share the candid process of my creativity, and I love doing this. I don't know. Let me know in the comment below if you like this subject. I will certainly do more. If you have other ideas on what I should do next, I would love to know. Click like if you like this video. Please give me a positive comment. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and I would invite you to turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss of the next new video. In the meantime, keep being creative and be kind to yourself and others. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.